Well, I missed last Sunday's weekly rotation, so in this video, I'm going to make it up. So coming shortly will be weekly rotation 9 and weekly rotation 10. Stay tuned. Oh yeah, intro. So welcome back. I'm going to start off with weekly rotation 9. This is from 2 weeks ago. The week of the 28th, September 28th, going into whatever that Sunday was. The reason why I remember, because that was my birthday week. I was doing a lot of running, so I really didn't have a chance to do it. But starting off with Monday, the 28th, from the house of Dapper Fragrances, I went with their iteration or inspiration of Parfums de Marly Percival. Not sure how the original Parfums de Marly Percival is, but if it's anything like this or better, I'm guessing with better quality, and it being the original, it's pretty much a blast. I love this one. Longevity was almost 10, 11 hours. Projection was quite strong for the first hour, hour and a half. And then it tailed off for the first 3 hours, but to get 3 hours of slightly above average projection, I believe is wonderful for any, not going to say a clone house because he does blends as well, but from the house of Dapper Fragrances, Parfums de Marly Percival. Travis, you did your thing. Oh yeah, I bought this too, so there's no biased reviews or anything like that, or having to just give a positive recommendation because I got it for free. None of that. So for Tuesday, the 29th, which was my birthday, basically called off of work, did some things with the significant other and family. A beautiful day, turned 39. Getting old, you can tell by the grays and the beard. But from the house of Paco Rabanne, 1 million Privé. Sorry I didn't take them out the boxes. Just grabbed them off my shelf according to what list I made that as I made them. But this is how the bottle looked. This is just a beautiful scent. It's actually one of my better performing designer scents, where I'm generally getting anywhere between 8 to 10 hours. Projection very good for the first 2.5. Then it sits a little closer to the skin, or about a quarter arm's length from the skin. But this is beautiful. I actually garnered a few compliments, not only from the significant other, but we went out to the Texas Roadhouse, got a compliment there, and got a compliment out at the outlet mall in Niagara Falls. So you can't go wrong with this. Beautiful fall, autumn, even winter fragrance from the house of Paco Rabanne. 1 million Privé. Wednesday, the 30th, I went with another bomb. I mean, when I say bomb, I mean the bomb diggity from the house of Cartier. And that is Cartier Pasha Parfum. Boozy. This is like a Fougere, but it's a lot deeper, smoother, definitely boozier. I said that at first. Almost beast mode on my skin. I mean, projection is jumping off the first 3 hours. Longevity, I'm getting once again anywhere between 8 to 10 hours. I would never fully know the true longevity of any of my fragrances, because anytime after the 7 and 8 hour mark, I'm going to generally refresh anyway, especially if it's something I really like and I'm not testing out other fragrances. But Wednesday, September 30th, from the house of Cartier, Parche de Cartier Parfum. Excellent. And it was on my fall list that I made 30. I listed 30 fall autumn fragrances. Thursday, which was October 1st. Did some running around, had some things to do, wanted to, be on my grown man bully. So I had to go with my grown man bully fragrance. Juice for the World, Zaharoff. Beautiful, well put together. I mean, when I say juice for the world, all these ingredients is from some part of this planet Earth, and they're blended perfectly. You want to smell like I'm a grown man with your stuff together, and still pleasant enough to get compliments, probably from people over 25. This is going to do it. Juice for the world. I mean, Zaharoff signature pour on. And it's taking me a little bit of time because I do have them in the boxes. Now for Friday and Saturday, I went with the House of Gallagher Fragrances. For Friday, Behold Patchouli. And Saturday, Behold Patchouli. I generally buy 2 to 3 samples every time something come out from them, just so I can fully give them a wearings and testing. So Friday was the first impression, first test, and I just had to double up Saturday because I was liking what was going on. Pretty long lasting. The patchouli is earthy, soily, but the orange and the chocolate gives off this Easter candy orange chocolate vibe. Until the incense, shows its presence. This is just a beautiful. I mean, to me, there's a few fragrances I do that represent the fall, autumn season. Changing of the seasons, going into from that summer to the winter. This is one of those. Behold Patchouli. I believe I'm pretty safe to saying it's a must buy, must have for any fragrance connoisseur, people who like chocolate, people who like the earthy or patchouli lovers. This is a great one. That's why it's called Behold Patchouli. And to round off weekly rotation number 9 from the House of Dior Homme. I bought this back in the day when I used to do nothing but shop at Macy's and Sephora's and buy everything retail. But this is how much juice I have left. This is beautiful. Little lipsticky makeup type of iris. You get a slight cacao note. You get a little, when I say a little bright, fruit for like to me on my skin, maybe lasts about 5 minutes, if that. But this right here, I think it's quintessential to anybody's collection. If you're, going past the mainstream mass compliment getters, I think you should definitely have this, especially before they're all gone and you can only get the crappy Dior Homme 2020 version. But this right here, sophisticated, but it still will garner compliments. I've gotten tons of compliments. That's why I continue to wear it. But for Sunday, rounding off weekly rotation number 9, Dior Homme or Dior Homme Original. Now starting off weekly rotation number 10 for this week, Monday, from the House of Emporio Armani, went with Stronger With You. This right here is a beautiful hazelnut. I believe it's some sort of benzoin or vanilla in here. This is just beautiful for your date nights, just cozy, cuddling. It do come off kind of strong the first 2.5, up to 3 hours. It will settle down. Some people say they don't get good performance with this. My skin, I get at least 7 hours almost every time, like 99% of the time. So where it doesn't become a skin scent until around that 6.5, almost 7 hour mark. So for Monday, the Hazelnut Master, it's one of the Hazelnut Masters. 1 Million got one that got some great hazelnut as well, but Stronger With You, definitely a banger for your fall or autumn. Hell, it can even go in the winter. I would get Stronger With You intensely, but this is a great banger for the fall season. Also on my 30 list fall video. Tuesday, from the House of Rossé Fort, Ciolito Lindo. This right here, beautiful. It's like a boozy, slightly gourmand. I'm mad. This is definitely bottle worthy to me. I will be getting a bottle of this. Longevity, almost 10 hours. With the first 8 hours being the strongest. Projection, very good, I should say, for the first 2.5 hours. It definitely still wasn't a skin scent. It was still half arm's length for like the first 5 hours. It didn't start fading off to a quarter length, shoulder length of projection until around that 6.5, 7 hour mark. Rossé Fort, I would say, is a table of contents worthy? Yes. Will I recommend you to go blind by it? No, unless you like gourmandish type of date night, leather, boozy, sweet type of semi-sweet fragrances. But this right here is a banger, and we'll be getting for this remaining fall up to the winter seasons, because to me it's definitely worth it. Wednesday, I went with from the House of Histoires, the Parfum. Should have already had these open once again. And this is 1969 right here. I'm already had this maybe 3 months, and I'm already starting to put a dent in it. This is how much I like it. This will be off-putting to some people because it do have a prominent floral type of green feeling at the beginning. But other than that, this is like a fruity, floral, gourmand-like type of fragrance. You have peach, what is on here? Cardamom, chocolate, coffee, white musk. I mean, this right here is definitely a hidden gem if you like. You know, once again, you gotta like florals, and you kind of gotta like your dried owls to go towards the gourmand end of the spectrum. You're gonna get both with this one. Projection, good for the first hour and a half. It does die down and become, you know, close to a skin scent around the 4-hour mark, but the longevity wasn't bad to where I can get 8 hours easily. About 7 hours usable longevity, but 8 to 9 hours with it just lingering slightly like a 2 or 3 centimeters above the skin level. But the House of Histoires parfums, they generally make some good. What the fuck? Oh, okay, no, I'm sorry. Sorry for the language. I thought my phone had died. So for Wednesday, definitely has become my favorite gourmand from the House of Oud. And this is Grape Pearls. Love the bottle presentation. Here you're going to get this green note at first from the grape leaves. This is grape leaves, grapes, I believe rose, coffee, tad bit of cacao, vanilla. I mean, if you like grape, you like gourmands, you like florals, once again, another fruity floral gourmand. But to me, I get great performance. Great performance. It's almost 10 hours on my skin. I mean, yes, the last 3.5, 4 hours will be a little closer to the skin. But from the scent profile, the smell, to the presentation, this has definitely become one of my favorite newer acquisitions within this last 120 days. I was just waiting for the fall to break it out. And that's from the House of Oud, Grape Pearls. For Friday, I went with a layering of 2 of my favorite fragrances. And on Friday, I went with, from the House of Tom Ford, Grey Vetiver, Eau de Toilette. And I went with, from Nasamato, Pardon. Now, I've worn Pardon a few times. I love it. It's dark, smooth, creamy. But I was like, what if it had more of a transition? What if the opening was brighter? And I just was looking at everything. I'm like, what would go with all the different woods, the slight cacao note? I'm like, let me try this Grey Vetiver. I mean, it's clean, not too soapy. With this being the Eau de Toilette, the opening is a lot brighter with the citruses. So it was like, let me try it. And lo and behold, on my skin, it's beautiful. I mean, from the bright citrus and vetiver opening of this, and then this just finally, just overpowers it for the last 6-7 hours. I'm going to do this layering combination a lot more this fall time. But for Friday, I was smelling gooder, more sophisticated than a mofo. And that's Tom Ford Grey Vetiver, Eau de Toilette. And from Nasamato, Pardon. On Saturday, I went with another sample game from the House of Carthusia. And this is Terra Mia, one of the best gourmand coffee chocolate scents I have put my nose on this year of 2020. To me, this is also bottle worthy. Performance just for it being like it smelling like real pure coffee and chocolate. Performance was pretty good. I got about 8, 9 hours of longevity, with projection being the best within the first 3 hours. Incredible for that first hour and a half, but Matt is just such a small sample. I'm already, pretty much done with it. As you can see here, definitely bottle worthy for fall and winter occasions. You gotta like chocolate, you gotta like vanilla, you have to like coffee to want this fragrance. But this is beautiful from the house of Carthusia Terra Mia. Italians has been stepping their game up with their fragrances, especially on the niche side of things. And then to end off weekly rotation number 10 from the house of Sammy Andros, one of my first offerings from there, but also my favorite, Oud Space. Oud, vanilla, amber, Turkish rose. You're going to get all sorts of different nuances. I mean, it goes a little soapy. It goes sweet with the vanilla. The violet stands out. Doesn't give it a totally petroleum or gas smell, but you can kind of see where the vanilla smoothed that part of it out. As of with all his deeper, darker fragrances, you're going to get anywhere between 8 to 12 hours longevity. Projection is just almost nuclear. That first 2 hours, between hours 3 and 6, is still a half an arm's length. Like, I put this on at 9 o'clock this morning. It is now around 2. And I don't have to put my arm that close to my face to get wafts of this. And plus, with me being outside, that's all I'm getting. That's why I didn't spray none of these other fragrances during these last 2 weekly rotations, just to try to get reminders, because this is just pretty much going to overpower it to my nose. But to wrap it up for weekly rotation number 10, a huge space, another lovely, lovely fragrance for the fall, autumn, and it's strong and definitely strong enough for the winter. So there we have it. I made up last Sunday's weekly rotation number 9 and gave you weekly rotation number 10. What did you wear within this last week or two? Please drop it down in the comments. Put a like on the video. I mean, it's free. It's easy. Maybe take, however you hold your phone, an index finger or a thumb, just like it. So, in this world, I mean, there's been a lot of chaos and drama in 2020, the stupid COVID. I think we just all need some peace. Let's end this, year off with greatness. I mean, just strive for greatness and being the best person you can be, and just be tolerant of everyone, no matter race, creed, sex, sexual orientation. We just need more peace in this world. Until the next time, let's grow and evolve together. In this book of life, turn to the Paige of Stylez. Y'all be blessed and walk in peace. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. We don't want your friends thinking y'all haters.